You're joining me for the first time, and I'm always happy to share things that I've been working on in my stamp room. Well, there's some big news, a big one-day sale coming on St. Patrick's Day tomorrow, and you may want to participate in this. Look what's happening. This does not happen very often, but Stampin' Up! Is offering free shipping on all orders tomorrow. The order just has to be at least $50 before tax and shipping. And also an added bonus is that will qualify you for Creative You for April. And that's a promotion that I do as a thank you for your order. And you will receive for free the 3 projects that we use for the April month. So you get a double bonus there. Free shipping, which is really like saving 10% on your whole order. And then you'll get those free projects in the mail, because anytime you order over $35 with me, you get that anyway. So tomorrow is the big day to take part in that. If you could do me a favor and use the host code, that will also qualify you for the free projects that I send. And if your order is over 150, then don't use the host code, just reap the benefits of the host rewards yourself. So I hope you take part in that. That's really a great deal. I have my order all ready to go, because we as demonstrators, not only do we get our discount, but we get 10% on top of that. So it's really a great deal. Well, the project I'm going to share with you today is using the Dragonfly Garden stamp set. Isn't this beautiful? Oh, I just love it. And you know, we're kind of getting into the weather, well, in Arizona anyway. I'm not sure about where you live. Maybe Minnesota or Denver would disagree with me, but it's getting nicer and warmer, and I don't know, there's hints of spring around the corner. It's a little bit chilly, you can tell by my thick sweater type shirt, but it's really getting nice. I think it'll be in the upper 70s or 80s by the end of the week here in Arizona. So I wanted to also show you this in the catalog, because look at how pretty it is with some of these examples. Now this can be bundled with the punch, which we are using today, and you will save 10% if you order the bundle. But like I said, you may want to hold your order until tomorrow, and then you can save the 10%. And then let me find the paper for you. If you go to the back, Stampin' Up! Put this great little diagram that shows pretty much everything in the catalog, and you can see all of it here. It's pretty small. I would show you the real stuff. Actually, I do have some pieces here I'll show you, but I have cut into this so much that I'm down to the just a little bit left. These are the papers that I chose to use on today's project. There's a lot of them, but you can see my theme is the bumblebee in color, and so I chose the colors that mostly had that in, except for this one just has a hint of it. But anyway, they all coordinate, so it's nice. So let me share with you the project that we're going to do. We are going to start with Bumblebee cardstock. This is your typical 8.5 by 5.5 inch cardstock, and it's scored in half on the long side at 4 1/4. So I used a scoring tool. I do that beforehand so I don't have to have so many things in front of me when I'm working. And then what we're going to do is take a small ruler, and we know this is 5.5 inches across. So mark that at the top at 5.5, and we just want to find the halfway point here, and that's going to be at 2 3/4 inches, and just make a little tick mark where that is, because we want to kind of center this card. And then we are going to start by using, let me show you this punch. I've had this for a while, but I've never used it, I don't think, in a Facebook or YouTube live, but this is called the Tailored Tag Punch. And I just love the shape of it, and so many of our sentiments fit in this, and it's just kind of a fun different type of shape. All right, then we are going to start with let's take this one. So I am going to use my multi-purpose liquid glue for this project, because one thing that is nice about this glue is that you can maneuver it and move it before it sets in place. So I'm going to go pretty close to the top, but I want to hit that tick mark and then cover it up so you don't see it. And I came, gosh, probably about maybe an eighth of an inch from the top, and just make sure it's straight. You see that? All right, now we are just gonna fill this page with these little shapes, and you might want to just punch them and set them randomly, or you can just follow what I've done, because you know what, I'm gonna grab my silicone mat because this one could get messy underneath because you don't really know where to stop the glue, you know what I mean? And so I'm just gonna line it up and kind of line up where you started at the top, and then go maybe about an eighth of an inch from that one. That way it's gonna make a natural border in between here. So let's do that one, and then these are going to hang over the edge. Don't let that bother you because we're going to trim those up nicely, but we are just going to fill this card with this shape. So here's another one, and don't worry about, you know, like where they lay. Don't trim them before because you really don't know where you're going to need to cut it until it's done. And it will be important to have that silicone mat underneath. All right, now let's put that stripe it in there. Wait, actually it's easier if you put the bigger pieces first. So let's put this one on. So this is gonna take me a while, but I'm gonna walk you through it just so you can see. Now remember, again, we want this to be as high as that one was from the top, and then that 1/8 inch in between. And as long as you can keep doing that, these are gonna line up pretty well. And let's do a stripe it at the top. I'm a stripe and polka dot girl. I love it when they put those on the back side of the cards. And you'll see as I create this card, most of what I use is going to be the bumblebee pieces, but I just threw in a couple of the ones with the floral in because I don't want that to be the focal point. See how they fit in there just like a puzzle? And some might be off a little bit. This one's a tiny bit off, but you know what? It's like kind of like a maze. You really aren't going to see that because it's tone on tone. For those perfectionists out there, it is hard. If it's off a little bit, that just means that one of them wasn't probably straight left to right a little bit. But like I said, you can't even see that because it's tone on tone. All right, and I'm doing all my main pieces first because it's just easier to line up. If you can get the base of your card with the bigger pieces, then the other ones are, you can kind of fudge a little bit better. See how you can move it until you have it where you want it. So let's just keep going with this. You can tell that I pre-picked my patterns before I went online. I did make one card finish because it's like a match game, trying to get the patterns that you want together and stuff. But once I got it, now I'm just kind of copying my other cards. So that's why this is going fast. But believe me, it took me probably about 10 minutes to figure out which pattern I wanted where and which one is overkill of the color in there. So anyway, but they're fun to do. And when I post on my blog, you are going to see some other cards that I made with the same design because they're really fun to use. The main thing is most of our, or all of our Stampin' Up! Designer Series paper are made to coordinate. So, you know, they're all going to use kind of the same shades and tones. So it makes it easy to do a mix and match card like this. I did 2 more using the In Color Designer Series paper, and I'll be curious to hear which one you like better. Do you like the In Color DSP or this Dragonfly Garden one? Now, OCD Lorri even can't handle these tiny little corners being blank. So I cut or punched just the very end of that, and I'm still going to stick one up there. You know, when I made this, I tried leaving them blank, and I tried so hard to like the card with them blank, but it just bothered me. My eye went right there, and I go, okay, I know it's only like 1/4 of an inch of a piece of paper up here, but my eyes cannot look at this. I need to fill it. So that's why I'm doing this. But you can let those go if you want. And even these have little, this one for sure needs to be covered up. And so when you're punching, don't throw your scraps away, because these tiny little ones, they're made from when I trimmed off, like say if I trimmed that off, you could still use that little piece. So this is also a great way to use up your little scraps that fall everywhere. How do you store your scraps? Some people ask me that. I keep mine in, let me grab it for you so I can show. I keep it in the cellophane that it comes in, because look at, there's like a sticky thing up there, and that way I know everything is in this pack. I leave this here so I can see what actual colors coordinate with. That's nice that they have that on the back, but everything's just stuffed in there. It stays in one place, and I know that anything I need from that pack is in there. All right, we are almost done. Let's get this little corner done. And I tell you, seriously, the hardest part of this card is figuring out where you want which paper to go. But the easy part is I already did that for you. And so you can just copy what I did. I'll have a still photo on my blog and Facebook page, so you can not have to recreate the wheel here. Now look at all these tabs that are over the edge. So this is kind of the fun part, is trimming it off. And you're gonna want your paper snips for this, and then just start trimming. And all you do is follow the edge that you already made. And hang on, because we're not quite done. Whoops. And because the glue sticks over the edge, it's gonna stick to your scissors a little bit. I like to use Goo Gone to clean my scissors, because sometimes you'll get, you know, if you trim down the rubber on your stamps, or if you get a little bit of glue on, I've found that Goo Gone is the best way to clean your scissors. All right, so hang tight. This is going to take a while, but I really want to show you how I did this so that you can see the finished product, and then we'll finish off the front, because the front just needs a little bit more to it. And we'll just keep trimming. So what is everyone doing for, I was going to call it Lucky Charm Day tomorrow, Irish Day. How about St. Patrick's Day? You know, I found out that I am a little bit Irish. I did not think that I was, and maybe I've told you this already. I did that 23andMe test, and I have, I don't know, 20-25%. That's a lot of Irish that I have that I didn't think I had any, so that's kind of cool. We usually don't do anything different other than if my son wants milk that day, I usually make it green, or when he was little, I'd do green pancakes or whatever. It's always fun to spice up the day somehow. I've done Lucky Charms and stuff like that. Okay, what a difference once you trim those off. Now let's get to the stamping, and I don't trust myself, so I'm going to put this little pad down in case I go over the edge. And there's a lot of nice sayings that will fit in the box that we're going to use. I'm choosing the thank you. It seems like I send a lot of those cards, but you could really use any stamp set that fits in there. And then let's grab our Mossy Meadow. I'm just choosing a color that's already in there. And we'll see if I can do this straight based on the angle that I'm at here on YouTube. So stamp it. If it's not straight, then just do another one on the other side. Actually, that's pretty good on my first try, right? All right, now we're going to take our punch that coordinates with this, and I played around with this. I'm going to ask you which one you prefer. But first, let's put this on the, I don't need this anymore. Let's put this on the card front. We don't need our glue. And I am going to grab my dimensionals here, and you know me, I like my pick tool. Whoops, I forgot to set that one out, and that way I can grab this easier. I just have some glue on there. I just poke it and drag it, and let's go like this, and remove the little adhesive back, and let's just put this on kind of off center a little bit towards the bottom like that. Thank you for your kindness. Now we have to add one more little finishing point on here. So I'm going to take vellum. We have vellum cardstock in the catalog. It's nice because it's thicker than the old-fashioned vellum. Just punch a vellum tiny dragonfly, And then I'm going to take my bone folder, and even though he's teeny, teeny, tiny, I still want to curl his wings a little bit so they go out. And then, before I put them on, I forgot I got to drag this back in. We are going to take Wink of Stella. This is a magic little tool that turns anything that you work on glossy and shimmery, and because it's opaque, it'll just give it more of an iridescent shine. So it's going to match whatever color you're using. You'll be able to see this underneath. And then I'm just going to put a little glue dot. Again, you can use your pick tool to take glue dots off. Just slip it under there. And I want to put it on the back. I don't like a messy desk area. Put this on the back of the vellum, and that's how you're going to attach it on here. And I chose to put it right here at the bottom. He's just kind of flying on the very corner like that. Can pull these up a little bit so it gives it a 3D look. Can you see that? Let me make sure I'm in the camera, but if you saw this in person, you would see that it's shimmery. And so now the other one I played around with was I just took designer series paper and I thought I'll pull in the Calypso coral. And so I punched one, and if you wanted to make more of a statement, you could go like that. Or if you wanted to add a couple of them, that might be cute too. So just play around with it and see. For me, I'm more of a less is more person, so I just chose to just put one very subtle one. But if you like it a little more bold, just go ahead and feel free to add a colored one on there. Just pick a coordinating color from here. Now there's one last part. The inside of the card. I just took a 5 1/4 by 4 inch basic white, and I'm going to pull the bumblebee ink in, and there's a real pretty flower image in the stamp set, and so I'm going to just ink that up, and I'm going to stamp that on the side. And because it's yellow in color, even if your writing goes over this, it won't matter. And then take your stamp and seal and adhere that to the inside, and this is going to make the card complete. And if you, whoops, and don't put it upside down. You know what? This is smaller. This is 5 by 3 3/4, but it really doesn't matter what size you cut this. Just so it's, you know, equal on each, with the same border on each side. All right, there's the card. If you were doing an envelope, I would probably stamp this on the back of the envelope or in the bottom corner, but there's our card for today. Isn't that a fun little sketch for those, the punch that I told you about? And if you're interested, be sure to order. Use the host code so you get your freebie make and takes, and also you may want to just make a note that the sale is tomorrow. So tomorrow's the free shipping. Thank you for joining me, everyone. It was so fun to be here, and I will see you at the end of the week on Friday morning for more projects. Take care. Bye-bye.